Hey everyone. I have been working on this thing actually for a couple of years. This is something that has just been, I don't know, um, on my mind. It's been kind of brewing for a while. And that is that change inevitably happens, but it sometimes takes us by surprise. When I was in high school, I'm going to give my age away a little bit here, but back then we typed our papers on a typewriter or hand wrote them. I mean, nobody had their own computer. And I worked my way through university doing word processing on computerized typewriters. Whew, that was a big shift and it was so exciting to watch it print forwards and backwards. I mean, it was like so radical. But then when I graduated, things evolved quite quickly. My first job was at a computer company. Forget Microsoft. We were all in on Alpha Micro computers. Bet you've never even heard of them. Well, back then computers were brand new to the workplace, and they really were treated as a glorified typewriter. So it was the secretaries and the word processors who used them. It took a while for executives to realize just how much power they would have if they would open the computer themselves. Actually, you didn't open it back then. We just had desktops. But this was a massive change in the corporate environment. And it happened within a few short years. Like literally, while I was at university, this transition was happening. Now I'm seeing a similar change in content marketing. 10 to 15 years ago, it was all about the blog. I mean, I made my career managing blogs, and it was writers who ran content marketing programs. They were called in to write SEO posts, to do web pages, and write sales collateral. But social media changed everything. I mean, Facebook became revolutionary. I mean, it's all over the world. Twitter with micro content and LinkedIn, and now everybody's writing essays, short essays on LinkedIn on a daily basis. Now, at first, all of this was about sharing pictures of your food and your kids and your pets. Well, it kind of still is, but it's grown up a lot. Now it's more about sharing your ideas and building your tribe. That's why today content marketing is done primarily on social media. It's not primarily in blogs anymore. And it's not being done by writers. And this is the big shift. Remember how I mentioned, first it was secretaries and word processors who were on those glorified typewriters. And then it became something that everyone was doing. Well, that same shift is happening with content marketing. Every professional, especially founders and marketers and salespeople, like anyone in revenue, is using social content to build a personal brand and attract their target audience. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that content marketing is dead. It's not. It's not like blogs are going away. It's not like SEO is over. That's not what I'm saying. All of those things are still going strong, but they're evolving. All of this is evolving. Change is going to happen. As soon as we get used to one thing, something else is going to come along and disrupt it. And today, you're hearing more talk about content distribution because already people have realized they've been struggling with, why am I creating all this content and it's getting no traction? Well, this is what it's all about. We are talking about distribution because we recognize that to get eyeballs on our content, we've got to take it off the website. Nobody is surfing the web anymore. That was a brand new thing. When the web was new and it was exciting, people were excited to click on links and visit websites and see what everyone was doing. That's not how it works anymore. They're scrolling through their social channels and they're expecting you to come to them. Now, Marketing is about taking your message to your audience anyway. That's rule number one. So that's exactly what we've got to do. Your audience is not coming to your website, not unless they have a desperate need and they know you have the solution. Not unless they've searched for something on SEO on the website in Google and your website comes up and they're like, "Oh, I want to click on this article." That's not going to happen unless they have a big need. What is going to happen is they're going to wake up in the morning and scroll through their social channels. They're going to take a lunch break in the middle of the day or when they're bored and they're going to what? Open their social channels. They're in their morning, noon, and night. So that's where your ideas will take off and get traction, not on your website. Bottom line, if you're not on social media, consistently showing up, strategically showing up, you're missing out. And if that's you, I don't want you to worry about being late to the party because, so many of us, me included, I don't love social media. It's not, I mean, I love scrolling through it just to see what's going on because why? That's where I get my news. That's where I connect with people. But I don't really love talking about myself. I don't every day just jump up going, "Oh, goody, now I need to take a picture of myself and put it on social media." It takes a lot of work to think about, "Oh, really? I got to do social media too?" And add that to the workload. So a lot of us have been spending a lot of time just looking at what other people are doing on social media. And we're not really doing it wisely or strategically ourselves. Well, it can feel like you're late to the party if that's you. But here's what I want you to know you are not late to the party, especially right now, because everything's in flux. It's been changing. I've been watching this change for years now. Like literally, I'm going to say it was like 2015 or 2016, I started noticing that things were shifting, but I couldn't quite identify at that time where they were going, where things were going. And because I was ready to change my business up anyway, I kind of pulled back. I pulled back even more than I had before. I mean, I shared business stuff in social media, but I kind of pulled back because I recognized that what I was doing wasn't working and I needed to know where my business was going and I wanted to land on that before I did any other kind of sharing. So there's this whole concept of, you feeling like you're late to the party, feeling like things are moving along without you, but it isn't because nobody is really conscious, I think, of the changes that are happening. If they loved publishing on their blog, they're still publishing on their blog. And yes, they're using social media, but I don't think they're really conscious of the fact that what we're doing in social media is what we were doing on our blogs 10, 15 years ago. Believe it or not, I've been doing this long enough, I've seen it. We are now sharing short daily essays on LinkedIn. Well, that used to be what we were doing on our websites. That's what a blog post was. It was a little 100 to 400 word post, sometimes shorter. And we were doing it every day and it worked, but it doesn't anymore. So instead, what are we doing? We're taking those short essays and we're moving them to social media, adding a picture, boom, we've got our content done. People are doing it, but they're not doing it strategically. People are doing this or they're watching it, but they're not really conscious of how this is shifting everything about content marketing and social media marketing. But see, content and social media are going to continue to evolve. They're going, I really feel like pretty soon people are going to wake up to this. So if you're only just becoming aware of it, you're still ahead of the game. And if you can learn how to master this new type of content marketing, which is social media marketing, essentially, learn how to do it well, learn how to do it right, you're actually ahead of the game. Now, the key here is not just, oh, everybody's on social media, so I'm going to go post. Because honestly, that's what everybody does. Everybody says, "Oh, this is the new strategy. This is the new tactic. Let me just copy it." And they're not really thinking about what they're doing. And that's the key. You need a good strategy for getting in front of your audience, for getting their attention, for being seen as an authority. You have to start with strategy. You can't just start with the tactic. I know, because that's what most of us do, right? And especially when we're first starting out, "Oh, I need to be doing content. Let me start a blog." And we have no strategy. We're just putting together ideas. They're random, they're bad, and we publish anyway. Well, if we will start with strategy, and if we will move all of that strategy to social media first, now it's not to say you're going to abandon your blog, because you won't. That's not to say you're going to abandon everything else you've been doing, because there's so much value in a lot of what you're doing. But you have to get good at social media marketing. You have to put your content there, wherever your market happens to be, because that's how they're going to find you. That's how you're going to get attention. That's how you're going to build relationships. And honestly, that's how you're going to send traffic back to your website so you can convert them. If you are ready to uplevel your content marketing, if you are ready to uplevel your social content strategy, let me know. I have some things in the works that are going to absolutely blow you away. And it's going to make this transition so much easier. So you don't have to think about and worry about, "Oh, what does this mean for me?" Because I've got it covered for you. But you need to let me know in the comments, is social media working for you? And are you ready for a change? Leave a comment and let me know, because I've got something special for you and it's only available for a few people. So be one of the first to let me know, and I will let you know as soon as we are ready to go live with it, okay? So this is my thought. Be ready for change. Be watching these changes and be ready to step into them, because if you don't, you really will be left behind. Okay, that's it for today. Just really, really had this on my mind and wanted you to hear it first. Okay, stay awesome, and we'll catch up later.